Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night and that you'll enjoy the video. And thank you so much for watching.
Stop approaching women when they're alone, okay? Please. This is the second time in a week that I have been approached by a man when I was either alone or alone with my children in the car. And let me tell you how terrifying it is. I was caught completely off guard. I was pumping gas, put the pump in, I got back in, I sat down in my car with my door open. I looked up and there was a massive dude hovering, blocking me into my car, asking if I had any money. I am 5 foot on a good day, 110 pounds. Okay? Stop approaching women when they're by themselves. My first thought is, I don't have any cash. Can I say I don't have any cash? What if this dude gets because I don't have any cash?
Right, let me save you all the trouble and cut this short. This was the second time. The first time some guy approached her in a Walmart parking lot asking for cash. So it would be easy to understand the type of man that is approaching her. Homeless people. Now for someone smart it will be easy to understand that those homeless people that approached you asking for cash, they don't have cell phones. They don't have smartphones. They're not gonna be on TikTok listening to you. And even though I agree with you, we should all stop approaching you. Just because a lot of you are not worth approaching, you should also understand that even though there were two men approaching you, they were not the type of men that were approaching you in order for them to hook up with you. I can still understand that that was a scary experience for you, but putting everyone together just because two homeless people came over to you asking for cash, again, it doesn't make you look all that smart.
Yeah, we're all good. We're all
Point of view, you decided to travel alone to meet new people, but no one wants to make friends. Well, fair enough, but again, we should not be approaching women, so you should approach men. I wonder if those two homeless people from earlier will mind you approaching them trying to be friends. As long as you have some cash, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be okay with it. But seriously, what did you expect? You do understand that people have their own lives, right? You understand that people have their own friends, their own families, some other people to talk to, some other things that they need to worry about. Just because you travel to some places where they live, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna start applauding, celebrating your arrival.
Here's something to keep in mind, and I'm going to be really real with you guys. I'm going to be 30 in 4 months. I don't have a full-time job anymore. I'm single. I'm not getting married right now. I don't have kids right now. I would hope to in the future. But in terms of milestones and where I should be at as an almost 30-year-old, I don't have my life together at all. What you see on social media is snippets of my life. In terms of my mental health, I've got that down. But in terms of every other aspect of my life, I have no idea where I'm going, what I'm doing. So just be aware of that. When you see people on social media who act or seem as though they have everything together, believe me, there are things going on behind the scenes that you don't know about.
This should be a wake-up call for everyone, but especially if you're young and listening to this. That's the only reason I posted her, because that's something that you may consider. Your life does not end or begin at 30, so don't just throw your 20s away thinking that all you can do in your 20s is have fun, not work on yourself, and not considering that the big decisions you take in your 20s are the decisions that are gonna follow you for the rest of your life. I'm really glad she says she has her mental health in check, and if that's true, that's great, but does she really? What will be the state of mind you have to be in to post a video like this? Was everything great in terms of your mental health, like you said? Or in that moment you feel sad, lonely, vulnerable, and maybe feeling the need to have someone close to you that you can talk to, and not just be alone with your camera and your phone talking to your followers? This is the lie that is fed to women, especially young women today, that men are useless, men are trash, you don't need a man. And this is pretty much the result if you're listening to that narrative. And I wish I can say it's gonna get better, but I fear it's only gonna get worse.
The dumbest thing you could do as a woman is submit to a man who cannot even submit to himself. And how do you know if a man is able to submit to himself? Does he follow through with the commitments he makes to himself? Did he start the business? Did he start the workout routine? Did he quit drinking? Did he quit smoking? A man's ability to keep promises with himself is a direct reflection to how he will be able to keep promises to you. A man's ability to stay committed to his goals is a direct reflection of how committed he will stay to you. A man's ability to honor himself is a direct reflection of his capacity to honoring you.
Yeah, all that sounded great, except it was your goals that you were trying to push on me. I don't want to start a business. I make a decent amount of money going to work every day, and I'm fine with that. I guess I'm happy with having less, but that's just me. You want me to start a business because you want more status, you want more money, and because you think you're too good to date a blue-collar man. I don't want to stop smoking or drinking. Those are your goals that you're trying to push on me again. And I know I talk a lot about drinking, but in reality I don't drink that much. I have a few jacks on Saturdays when it's poker night, and that's pretty much it. So I'm allowed to have that, or that doesn't align with your goals, and we're gonna start an argument. I know you all freak out when you hear the word submit to a man, but when a man says that, he's talking about you submitting to his ability to lead, his ability to protect and provide. If you think he's not worthy of your respect because he smokes, or just because he smokes he's not gonna be a great leader, then don't submit to him. Keep doing what you're doing, because obviously that is working out great for you.
I've decided that the next man that I meet, I'm going to ask him for a $500 deposit. If he ends up being a good guy, I will end up giving him the money back. If he breaks my heart, at least I made some cash. I'm done getting my heart broken with no return. No return. This guarantees me a return fee. How genius.
Okay, so what you're saying is, for you to get a return on the investment, you need $500. Fair enough. But for him to get a return on that investment, he needs to have his fun, right? As long as he gets his 7, 8 times maybe, I would say that's a fair deal. Now, how do you call this type of transaction again? Oh yeah, empowerment.
Did you know that every zodiac sign has a specific body part that it rules? This is called medical astrology. Let's start with Aries. Are you an Aries who has frequent migraines and eye problems? That's because Aries rules the head. That includes the face, the eyes, the brain, your sinuses. A lot of Aries are prone to migraines, head injuries, and sinus pressure. Y'all are known to be headstrong, so. Next up, my Tauruses. Taurus rules the throat. A lot of Tauruses are known to have beautiful speaking voices and singing voices. But this is not always a good thing. A lot of Tauruses are prone to sore throats and thyroid problems. We're also known to have long or thick necks. Next up, Geminis. Now this one is trippy. Gemini rules the nervous system. Your shoulders, your lungs, your arms, your hands. There's 2 of each of those. 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 lungs, 2 shoulders for both of your personalities. They tend to suffer from anxiety, fidgeting, and nervousness. Like for part 2.
Absolutely no, I will not. I am an Aries and I have none of those problems. So just again, if you needed one more reason, astrology is bogus. But I did knew a Taurus once, and she had amazing throat thingy, you know. So maybe she's onto something here. Not to mention that I like the fact that as an Aries, I am the head of everything. And it's not because I don't care that I will not follow her for part 2. It's just that we're down to legs and feet. Who cares about those anyway when you're the head of everything?
What kinds of men attract female narcissists? Well, this is a very, very good question, because right now, 80% of my clients are men that have been in toxic, abusive relationships with a narcissistic woman. I'm a psychotherapist and I specialize in healing from trauma after being in these kinds of relationships. Now, one thing that I will say that all of these guys have in common is that they all have incredibly big hearts. And what do I mean by that? I mean that they're empaths. They can feel things on a very deep level. They care at a very high level. They often put others before themselves because they just want to see other people happy. They try their hardest to make other people happy. Now, for a narcissist, this is great because they're going to be major triers. They're going to constantly go out of their way to please that narcissist. And believe me when I say that narcissist is going to push them to their limits. And remember, the guy that this woman's chosen is not going to be a fighter. They're not going to be aggressive. They're not going to be naturally abusive. They're going to be very submissive. So it doesn't matter how hard they push them. It's just going to make the guy go deeper into his shell and retreat even further, which makes them feel even more powerful. So the kinds of guys that narcissistic women go for are the ones that ultimately get hurt the most.
Even at higher speed, this video was still 1 minute long. What type of men attract female narcissists? Let me give you the short answer. Every young man today that is considering dating. Since you claim you're a professional, maybe next time teach us how to stay away from one.
I just wanted to confirm, are we all meeting the same men over and over again? Let me explain. So, I've been single for a while now, so I kind of want to go out with someone. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna meet someone when I'm out. But no, because men, they don't approach you if they don't want to get you in bed. So obviously, the other way to meet people is on dating apps. Right? So, I made my profile on dating apps, Bumble, Hinge, whatever it is. I don't know, not Tinder because I don't like that. I mean, it's all the same apparently. It doesn't matter. So, we match, we talk a bit and blah, blah, blah. And then they ghost me. Like, they literally ghost me on the app. I'm like, we don't even get to talk. Or we talk, we go on Instagram, and then they keep texting me, but they don't invite me out. So I keep texting with these people every day, but they don't invite me out. So I'm like, are you broken?
Well, maybe they are, who knows. But let's see. 90% of your videos on TikTok are about you going at clubs. Not every man is about that life. Not every man has the will or the time to be in clubs every night. So I would say that will be strike one. There are not a lot of videos in which you are actually saying something, but this is one of them.
The only thing men have is the audacity. Honestly.
Considering that's not exactly what men want to hear, especially since you're putting all of us together, I will say that will be your strike too. I don't have the time or the patience to go and check your Instagram account, but since you say all those men stop talking to you after they check your Instagram profile, it's probably safe to say that that will probably be your strike 3.
I'm vegan, but I love a good steak burger. Then you're not vegan. Everyone knows that vegans don't eat red meat. The only kind of meat they eat is chicken.
Yeah, I eat red meat, so I wouldn't know anything about that, but as a vegan, I enjoy your chicken. And yes, I know, at first I also thought she was joking, but then this happened.
Vegans do not eat chicken. Yes they do. I would know, because I'm a vegan, and I eat chicken.
Yeah, she is actually arguing with someone about what being a vegan means. This is what happens when you have no idea what you're doing or what you're talking about, but you're doing stuff where you're saying things because you think it's gonna make you look cool. Because you think by doing it, it makes you look like you care about modern issues or current issues, when in fact you don't care about any of that, you just wanna make yourself look good on TikTok or Twitter or wherever. And yes, I do know all about the proletarian diet, but this is not what we're talking about here.
Would you marry the last person you slept with?
Yes. No. Depends who it is.
The last person you slept with. Would you marry them?
Yes. Yes, I would. I would.
Yes, you would if you remember his name. I'm not sure if she's drunk now or if she was drunk back then with her last, but she has absolutely no clue who he is. Now, before I stop talking and let you go on and enjoy the rest of your day, if you're still here, that is, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and share the video with your friends. Make sure you're still subscribed if you did subscribe before to the channel. Hopefully that will get me outside of the shadow thingy that I'm in. But for now, just as always, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you didn't, I still appreciate you for making it this far. Thank you all so much for watching, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one.